You are listening to ChartingWealth.com for Wednesday, the 10th of May, 2017. As we look at the charts, we see the S&P 500 is down just a little bit for the day, 0.09%. The Qs, that is the NASDAQ 100, up 0.35%. Those tech stocks keep moving up. Bonds are just barely down at 0.01% and gold down 0.60%. As we delve into the S&P 500, we can see that we have a third week of up movement. Still don't have a crossover going up yet on our price percent oscillator and derivative oscillator, still in the negative. So we've seen some drag, even though we can look at our Heiken Ashi candlesticks and see them continuing to move up. And of course, 3 weeks ago, they broke through the weekly trend line. And of course, we had, as we look at our 2-day chart, the 2-day crossover, vertical crossover occur back on Thursday, the 27th of April. We've seen the market sort of lag over the course of several days where it sort of topped out. Now, this last 2-day candle does show more up movement, and we do see the derivative oscillator continuing to move up. We don't have quite as much upspring on the price percent oscillator. It's starting to level out more, but we'll continue to keep an eye on the S&P 500 and see how long in the tooth it is. Of course, we have a confirmed down move on the weekly, up move on the 2-day, which means we are not in any trade at this point on the S&P 500. We're waiting for either the weekly trend line to the weekly PPO to move over going up, which it might do toward the end of the week, or for this up movement to end and the 2-day chart to rotate over going down and to follow in the direction of the weekly chart. It's literally up to what the charts tell us to do. We do not forecast. Remember, we trend follow. The trend is our friend, and it will show us what to do when the time is right. We don't guess. You gamble, you lose. The house usually wins. So what do? We trend follow. We go along with the trend once it develops. We don't have a trend right now in the S&P 500. Where do we have a trend? Well, my friends, those who've been following us, you know that we had a weekly vertical crossover for the week ending the 28th of April. We jumped in that following Monday, the 1st of May, and we are very happy with the way things have been going. We'll delve in a little deeper on that 2-day chart. The 2-day chart crossed over going up on the 27th. It was followed the next day on the 28th by the weekly with strong up movement in the Qs or the NASDAQ 100. And we have seen beautiful price appreciation since we jumped in after idiot hour at 10:30 on Monday the 1st. We're very happy with the way our charts have worked for us. Now remember, they did not work for us when we had that initial crossover going down on the week ending the 13th. Well, they did for just a very short period of time. Then the market bumped back up again and crossed over going up. That does happen occasionally. It doesn't happen that much. It happened back in July for a brief period, but there actually were more trading opportunities there. We had 2 weeks of down movement. This one was very difficult and was not a positive trade for us, but it has been more than made up for with the current appreciation that we have seen so far after this latest weekly vertical crossover. Again, the market will never be perfect in doing what we want it to do, but in trend following, we do everything we can to cut out trades that do not work and stay in those and maximize the ones that work, and most of them work. That's why we do what we do. Those of you who have been following us long enough, you have seen it in action time and time and time again. So we're very happy with where we are currently in this Qs trade. We will continue to monitor things. We'll continue, of course, to watch this 2-day chart and make sure that it continues to move in the right direction. When it does not, when things start weakening, we start blowing through our 2-day trend line, then, of course, we will look for every reason to exit the trade. As soon as we can draw a weekly trend line, we will do that too. So that's where we are on the Qs. Let's keep pushing through these charts and go back to our weekly chart, and we will take a look at TLT. That is the 20-year Treasury Bond Fund. Now remember, confirmed up move on the weekly chart since we had that crossover going up back on the 3rd of February. And we did really well from the time it rotated back going up on the 24th of March up until we saw that movement end around the 21st of March, and then, of April. Then we had that 2-day vertical crossover going down. That occurred on the 2-day chart ending on the 1st of May, and we've continued to see that down move. We, of course, at that same time broke the weekly trend line, and things are moving down. Now, what are we looking for? Well, our weekly is still in an up move. The 2-day is in a down move. We don't have a trade now. One of two things will happen, just like I said on the S&P 500. Either this down move on the 2-day will be strong enough to rotate the weekly over. That may not happen all that soon. If there's a lot of down movement, it could pull it down by the end of the week, but not likely. If it's going to pull it down maybe in the next couple of weeks, or we can see the market start moving up and the 2-day cross back over going up, then we would look to get in and follow the same direction as the weekly chart. In other words, the weekly and the 2-day need to be moving in the same direction for us to have a jumping in point. That's our biggest rule. Now, so we have nothing there. We'll continue to monitor and see what happens. When it does, of course, you'll receive notice via our text messaging system. Those of you who signed up for it, we have several hundred. If you've not, it's absolutely free. You need to text on your cell phone to the number 33222, the word Charting Wealth. We'll put you on that list and make sure you are notified like everyone was a couple of weeks ago when the Qs crossed over, and we have seen great trading opportunities since that occurred. Lastly, we're going to go to our gold and see what's going on GLD. Again, gold confirmed up movement on gold back on the 27th. That was the week ending the 27th of January. We had great price appreciation in gold until that stopped on the week ending the 28th of April. And of course, following that, and before I leave and go to the 2-day chart, I do want to show you we're getting very close, very, very close to a weekly vertical crossover going down, which would mean we would look next Monday to potentially get into gold if that occurs. That candle will not be closed out on the weekly chart until the end of the week. If that does close out that way, we will call it, notify you, and we'll look to jump in on that gold trade the following Monday. So we shall see what we shall see. Now let's look at that 2-day chart. You see that 2-day chart rotated over, going down back on the 27th with that powerful down movement. Looks like it's getting very close to pulling the weekly chart over, going down. We'll see if that occurs. I do want to show you that 4-hour chart we like to look at in gold. 4-hour chart is magical in that when we see that 4-hour chart rotate over, as it did going down on the afternoon of Wednesday, the 19th of April, it has been beautiful in its down move. We have many times practice traded off just that chart alone. When it works, it tends to work very nicely. It tends to not work at the end of the year and the beginning of the following year. Sometime in December, it stops working and doesn't start working until sometime in January. But once it starts, it's typically very beautiful. Anyway, we will continue to see, and could it be bottoming out? Well, we see the derivative oscillator losing energy, and we might have it ending. We don't know. We'll just have to continue to watch on that 4-hour chart. It may just continue to trundle down. Now, of course, we do know we have found some legs on the bottom of the chart on gold. Who knows just how low it'll go, but we'll continue to monitor it and keep you posted, particularly if there's a weekly vertical crossover going down. Folks, that's where we are at the end of the day as we go into Wednesday, the 10th of May. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll be putting out our April profit report here in the next day or so. I've been working on it the last couple of days, getting all the calculations together. Another profitable month, and we'll keep you posted. If you have questions, problems, concerns, always write us, cw@chartingwealth.com. We're happy to hear from you. Please sign up for our newsletter. You do that by going to chartingwealth.com, putting in your first name, your email address. We will send you all you need in order to get things started with us. How do you do that? Well, you watch the How to Read a Stock Chart video, you download the forms that we have, the trade worksheet, the daily market worksheet, the weekly market worksheet. You start listening to the videos that we have. Everything we have available for you is at no cost. We provide all of these materials and information to you. We want you to practice trade with us until you get good and can make your own decisions. But studying these charts, understanding these charts and price movement is the key to being able to master the market. We trend follow. That's what we're all about. We want you to learn what it's all about, and you can learn it for free. 10 minutes a day is all we ask. God bless. All the best from chartingwealth.com.